Do it.
All right, I did it. I hit the go live button.
Okay. Announcement. Boom.
Yeah.
D&D time again.
I'm gonna get all the Badoops.
Can we have a recap session from Ben?
Yeah, it's just important.
Session of
It's
recap.
necessary.
Yeah, Ben, recap all of our D&D sessions, including the many you weren't there for.
Yeah, just from
Well, it all
hearsay.
started.
We've told you enough about them, you should piece it together.
It all started when Zach decided he wanted to emotionally distress his friends.
Except
No.
Bryn was the first
No,
DM.
it
Oh.
started when I decided to emotionally distress my friends.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no,
that was
you
my
gotta remember,
first ever
like,
D&D
this-
game. I wasn't gonna DM for my first D&D game.
Yeah.
That's
One thing you gotta remember, all this was basically me just like, hey, so I'm gonna get the 5 ebooks. Would anyone be interested in running a group?
Yep.
And then immediately, sure, why not? Let's do it.
And then
Yeah.
I got brought in by Rob.
Yep.
Dragged kicking and screaming.
Cut to 2 years later, and there you go. Now we all need therapy.
I mean, I probably should have gone to therapy beforehand, but you know.
I mean, Brendan still needs therapy from Calga.
No amount of therapy will ever cure the scar sealed by Kargath.
Just wakes up in the middle of the night. No, why won't he die? Why won't he die?
It's Tractor.
Hey.
I know if I recall,
Hello.
pretty sure that Tractor said that he's a fan of Eberron.
Well,
Oh, okay.
He likes the Eberron stuff. I could be talking out my arse, but who knows?
well, I hope that's not the case because I've read most of the I've read some of the Eberron stuff, so, but I do not know it by heart yet, and
Hey, it's
and I'm
fun.
going to be made, and trust me, I'll be making shit up.
Yep.
Read a little of the source book. Nice.
Well, to be fair, I read a little bit of the source book, and that's when I decided to like
Okay,
half
I'm only
talking at
talking
his ass.
half talking out my ass.
Yeah, no, I also read like a little bit of the source book, and the moment I saw its aesthetic, I'm like, yeah, this is totally up my alley.
Ooh, it's exciting times.
I'm just glad I only have to look at one character sheet again.
One character sheet. We don't have to worry about roll 20.
I don't have to worry about roll 20. I just have one character sheet. There's actually on-screen chat again because there's room in the layout to do that.
Oh yeah,
Beautiful.
stay away from the dragon's blood.
Molasses is using the best emotes on Twitch.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not seeing Prozon John's emotes anywhere.
Wow.
I mean, look, man, I love your emotes, but
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, generally speaking, I would say that Barus are probably the best.
true.
Yeah, his are pretty good.
It's like your voice takes content. Oh,
Oh my word. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited.
You sure? You shouldn't be.
Well, excited does not exclude terrified.
I believe, as you said in Discord yesterday, you're equal parts excited and terrified.
Yep.
Honestly,
Very
kind of
confusing
same.
emotional situation.
I don't really know how things are gonna go with this.
As I said, both Ben and Zach, based on how our semi-private Starfinder game went last Friday, I think they have the most right to be.
You've picked up and
Exactly, scaroused.
the best time to come in as well, Paul, because it's a new campaign with new characters. So you don't even need any background for this story because we're starting new.
Yep.
But we're still gonna have a
Yes.
recap from Ben.
I'm not that cruel this
In the
week.
beginning, there was nothing.
Just
The
start
wonderful
saying the
God of this
creation
world
story
read
from
said,
freaking.
Let there be light.
I was gonna say just start saying the creation story from Ocarina of Time.
No, I was just imagining Ben would just give a recap of the history of the world, part 1.
I'm still a piece of garbage.
Oh my god. Right.
Real quick before we start,
Yep.
all these characters not showing up with the overlay.
Ah,
Is it
that's
not?
because I didn't think he was going to be here earlier on when I tweaked
Damn it,
that.
Rob.
Oh,
Okay. Give me a second. I'll add him back in.
Scumbag Rob forgetting about me.
Yeah, how dare
No,
you,
you
Rob.
just told me conflicting information. That's all it is.
you know,
That's not
and
true.
just when I thought we were about to have our first real D&D session with no hitches at the beginning,
Wow.
we were so
I have
close.
I have
So
literally
close.
been all day working on D&D shits.
I mean, Ben, that's your fault for assuming that Rob wouldn't make a mistake.
That's fair.
Yep. Oh, I need to work out. all
Oh dear.
my-
Yeah, we're starting
Yep.
at level 3.
Level 3.
Unless it's actually 4, in which case I got some things to change. But otherwise...
Yeah,
No.
same.
It is 3. It is most certainly 3.
Which is fine, and we'll get to do our character intros very short. You're doing nothing.
So I have a question kind of thing. Because the backstory of this campaign is that we all kind of already know each other, are we gonna like informally like tell the party like how our character is, acts, looks and stuff without obviously having to like do like a first meeting because that would be weird.
Oh, yes, I know
we
we've
could do
known
that at the
each other
start.
for 2
I mean,
years,
you can do it at the
but
start, but you could also try and just do it organically through the session.
Yeah,
Improv,
yeah,
bitch.
yeah.
I feel like the best way to kind of start it off is once we actually do start, just describe what your character looks like, and then
Okay.
the personality goes from there.
Yeah.
Speaking of, so then, how about we just go one at a time and just quickly introduce everybody's characters? Ben, if you would.
Okay. Today I will be playing Celeste, the Air Genasi rogue. Fair-haired, gorgeous, of course. Pale blue skin, pale purple eyes, and generally quite reserved, kind. And I suppose you'll just have to see what she's got in store for the party today.
Very well. Zach.
yes, today I will be playing as Celeste, the Air Genasi rogue.
I should have left Zach last.
It's your own
man.
fault.
No, today I'll be playing as Cass, the changeling warlock, who conveniently at the moment does actually look just like Celeste.
Oh no.
This is not going to get weird at all.
I will be playing Salazar Softstrum, a male swift-stride bard College of the Sword with long blackish hair and blue eyes.
Okay.
Rob.
I will be playing Kleek, a Arakocra, who has a beautiful white and red plumage. Because I'm a bird man.
Quick, kill it! I want to wear it as a hat.
And I have kind of like a dark reddish brown for like the bits that aren't feathers, basically, kind of thing for like the claws and stuff.
The party thing's wrong.
Shut up!
I know, I'm fixing
That party
it.
command, since that party command's been updated, I've had 2 characters die.
Yep,
Yes.
I'm fixing the party command.
All right. Well, Zach is fixing the party command. Ollie.
I will be playing Iskandar Kaon, a human artificer with my steel defender who's called Ignis.
And last but not least, I am Bren. I shall be DMing these poor fucks. through the twisted, very twisted paths of my imagination. And I will be playing literally everyone else.
Yep.
And so
Sounds about right.
the story begins. Are you all sitting comfortably? And then
Nope.
Yes, I.
tough shit. Should have thought about that
yeah.
before we started.
Our part, in question, has been working for the Elam, the Inquisitive Agency in the city of Sharn. Located out of Middle Dura, they specialize particularly in finding missing objects and, on very rare occasion, or rather, wish were rare occasions, missing people. As our story begins, we find them at the tail end of one of their cases. They and a couple of the City Watch detail have finally tracked down the smuggling ring in question that they were looking for, but they were quite surprised to find out that these smugglers had smuggled something else into the city, and that something was a troll.
Oh Christ!
Troll.
This
Troll.
seems oddly familiar.
Yeah, it does. What you ought to know. Just thought you ought to know.
So yes, while the City Watch works on detaining the simple bandits of the crew, our party has been tasked with dealing with the troll threat. And that die roll I asked you all to make prior to the session start was your initiative. I just said straight D20 roll because I didn't want to say plus dex because you'd immediately figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually have decent initiative here.
Yeah, thank God.
Same.
I mean, I'm on
Now-
14, so.
Now might be the time to point out I don't have any fire or acid spells.
That's
Um,
a
I
fair point.
do.
Neither do
I do.
about that.
I've got firebolt.
Good.
Good.
Yep.
As long as we deal one fire spell around.
Mm-hmm. I believe Rob would also have firebolt, so
I do.
you're covered.
Yeah.
Christ.
So then, we begin with you five surrounding this troll, who is very ornery and very angry and just wants to kill something.
Yes.
Okay. Did you add our decks to?
Yep.
our roll
So
for
I
initiative?
I already have all of the initiative set up.
Fabulous.
So we begin with Salazar.
Let's see.
There's my vote. So then, Salazar, what shall be your literal first action of the...
So I'm gonna attempt to stab it with my rapier using my defensive flourish.
What was your defensive flourish do, out of
Okay.
curiosity?
So when I take the attack action, my walking speed increases by 10 feet till end of turn. If the weapon attack hits, I can use one of my bardic inspiration to deal extra damage equal to the number I roll on the damage die, and also add that number to my armor class until the start of my next turn.
Very nice.
Okay.
In that case, roll to hit, please.
So that'll be a 17 to hit with my rapier.
A 17 will, in fact, hit.
Let's see. Rapier's a d8. Yep. Okay, so that'll be 15 damage, and my armor class is now 19 till my next turn.
15 damage. A strong start on this troll as you lunge your rapier firmly into this thing's thigh, because it is the easiest part for you to reach right now.
Nice.
Nice.
Now we move on to Celeste.
So I'm guessing that means that I have an ally within 5 feet of me.
I don't even necessarily think it's got to be within 5 feet of you. It's just got to be the troll, and he's certain.
Yes.
And you certainly
Yep.
have an ally within 5 feet of the troll.
Yeah.
In which case, much to mimic Salazar's actions, I'm just going to dive round right from the side of Salazar, take a nice hefty stab with that, with my rapier, my moon-touched rapier, glowing in the sky as I stab right into the troll's other leg.
Mm-hmm.
And-
roll to hit.
Let me see. What was my bonus for that? That would be a 18.
An 18 will hit.
And let me get my damage. So that's d8 plus 4 plus 2d6. And that is. Okay, that's 5, 10, 12. So that's 16 damage.
16. Another solid hit on this troll. Which will then bring us to Cass.
Yes. So, would I... Like, obviously I would have known we were doing combat, so I would have had a chance to do the stuff I would do before combat, like cast mage armor and tether myself to someone, right?
That is correct.
And I would have tethered myself to the barge, since they would be in the front lines against this troll.
Mm-hmm.
So, because I'm tethered to Chris, that means that I actually can cast a spell from where Chris is,
Mm-hmm.
which is fantastic. So I am going to cast, what's the spell called again? Mind Thrust. And this troll needs to make an intelligence save.
You know what trolls don't have a lot of?
Intelligent.
Poor troll.
That's awkward.
Oh no.
This troll's apparently a lot smarter than.
Ah!
Smarter than your average troll, boo boo.
Here's the thing. I would ask, but I know it beats your spell DC, because there's no way you have a spell DC higher than 17 at the 3rd level.
Isn't it correct?
Yeah, but I can still deal half damage. So half of 12, 6 damage.
A good attempt by our warlock, but for whatever reason, this troll's mind seems to be a lot hardier than others of his kind. So now it is the troll's turn.
Oh, baby.
Oh, Christ.
So, first off, at the start of the round, because he has taken no extra damage, he regenerates.
Yep.
Uh-huh, because he's not taking any fire or acid damage.
Yep, and both of the fire and acid people rolled lower than the troll.
Yep.
That's awkward.
Oh.
We've done enough damage that it shouldn't be able to regen all of it, though.
Oh, it won't. There's no way it's gonna regen all of it, but now it gets its 3 attacks.
Oh no.
Tasty.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a short campaign.
And Ben's already dead.
So first things first, the troll is going to try and bite at Salazar here. Will a actually a 17 probably won't hit you because of your defensive flourish.
That's correct.
Gotta beat a 19.
Yeah.
Then in which case it tries to bite at you, but you manage to just duck under it nimbly.
I'm glad, thanks to his defensive flourish, I'm not the armor class tank as a warlock. Because I would have been.
Next, he's going to take a claw swipe at Celeste.
Oh Christ.
Dead.
That is probably not a hit. I'm going to assume a 12 does not hit.
Thankfully, it does not.
Troll is going to try that again. Thank you very much.
Oh God.
That's better. That's an 18 on the die, so I'm assuming that's a hit.
That's gonna hit. That's gonna hit.
Yeah.
So now I need. Where are my other d6s? There we are.
You always love hearing where are my other d6s.
You take 14 slashing damage from this troll.
For a brief moment there, I was like, "Are you really about to tell him 14d6?"
I know. I heard 40. 40 slashing damage, please.
Oh, 14 slashing. That's still not great. That's still an ouch.
It needed to be 58 for it to actually one hit Celeste.
Oh god.
All right. So that is the troll's turn because it is smart enough to know it can't really move without just giving someone a free shot on it. So
Celeste is just swearing loudly after that. Just like, fucking god damn it!
Next we come to Queelik's turn. Queelik, you haven't been with the Inquisitive Agency that long, 2 weeks at most. This is really your first case you've had a chance to work. You were not expecting this to be the sort of thing you'd have to deal with on the job.
No. No, I wasn't. What is the environment like? Where are we at the moment?
You are outside of the stronghouse that you and the City Watch have raided. The troll had come bursting through the door.
Okay,
in an
cool.
attempt to stop you.
So I can basically take to the skies, get a nice shot lined up.
Fly away, pretty birdie.
Okay. You can see me, like, if anyone actually was looking at me, you'd see that I was a little hesitant, but I do end up going and casting a firebolt at the troll. And
Roll to hit.
I got a 19 on the die, plus 5, so 24.
That is a hit.
Yep.
Yeah.
That is well beyond what you actually
Good
need.
to know.
And that does 1d10 damage. You don't get any modifiers on spells, do you? It's been a while since I've been a spellcaster.
It actually has to specify whether you get
Yeah.
to the damage or not.
Of which I will do 9 damage.
9 damage will be a good start, and more importantly, shuts off its regeneration for a round. So now we come to Iskandar.
I'll crossbow. Because it's already taken a firebolt, so there's a higher chance of me actually doing more damage to it.
That is fair.
21.
That will hit.
Oops. That is 11 damage, so there we go.
11 damage. You
And then-
are. Yep, your crossbow bolt sinks fairly deep into this thing's back.
And now it's Ignis's turn.
Yes, Ignis. What will Ignis do?
Ignis. So I'll sort of just gesture, and Ignis will move forward and engage it, and force empowered rend the troll. Does a 17 hit?
17 will hit.
Ooh, so it's 7 force damage.
Gotta love that force damage. So yeah, Ignis gets another solid blow on this troll.
So do you have like a little contraption person? Like what's...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
He basically got like a metal man, is what he's got.
Okay, yeah. Got you.
Nice.
I'm just trying to like understand. It was like, wait a minute, who's that?
He's my dude.
He's his little buddy, his little male queen.
Holds me at night. Strokes my head.
All
When
right.
you kill him, you get Metal Blade.
With that said, we now come back up to the top of the initiative. So Salazar, it is your turn once more.
So we're gonna go ahead and burn a first level spell slot this time to cast Dissonant Whispers. I need a wisdom saving throw, please.
Ah, yes, these wise trolls.
Will a 14 do it?
That's a tie.
Then it goes to the defender.
Yeah. So it's gonna take half a 3d6, and it doesn't have to immediately use its reaction to move as far away as its movement will allow.
Yeah, because that would have sucked for it.
Why didn't it roll that on my attack?
Okay, so that's 6 damage that is already halved because I got 12 on the damage roll.
All right. This troll is very nearly. Remind me, Zach, is it bloodied for under half?
Yeah.
Yes.
It is very nearly bloodied.
Okay.
Celeste, it is now your turn.
Quick question: can I choose not to use my sneak attack?
I mean, you can, but I'm not sure why you would.
There is a reason for it. So, what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to make an attack.
Mm-hmm.
And that will be a 17.
17 will hit.
And that will do my d8 plus 4. And that'll be 8 damage. And then I'm going to use my cunning action to disengage.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to start running away from it, and as I'm running away, I am going to use my bolts from the grave. And since I've not used my sneak attack, I need to make a ranged spell attack against it.
You can't do sneak attack with spells.
He can.
No.
He
That's
can.
no. It's literally one of my things. Provided I haven't used my sneak attack this turn.
Amazing.
Immediately after you use your cunning action, you can make a ranged spell attack against a creature within 30 feet of you, provided you use sneak attack. You're proficient with it, and you add your Dex mod to its attack and damage rolls. A creature hit by this attack takes 2d6 necrotic damage. This uses your sneak attack for the turn.
Yeah, that sounds great.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, yep. So it's just an attack roll with my Dex mod. So that is a mod 20.
That is a hit.
And then it'll be 11 necrotic damage.
All right.
And I'm getting as far away from that thing as I can.
You will certainly do so. Cass?
Well, I'm a warlock who's used one of my 2 spell slots. What do you think?
Is it called Eldritch Blast?
Eldritch Blast. Eldritch Blast that might not hit because that's a low roll. 14?
That is not a hit.
Cass isn't doing too well so far.
Cass is not having an especially great day.
That's okay. Salazar's is about to get pretty bad too.
That's
Yep.
okay. Anyone who looks spy will think that it's Celeste because I look just like her.
That's true, actually, you do.
So, yes, we come to the troll's turn. The troll does not regenerate because it took damage from the fireball. And we are going to bite once again at this man who insists on stabbing him in his legs.
Yeah.
As the troll swings in, Ignis will just say, "All is dust," and then use deflect attack as a reaction. So I'm imposing a disadvantage on the attack roll of a creature I can see within 5 feet, provided the attack roll is against a creature other than Ignis.
It is just for this attack.
It just says on the attack roll.
All right.
So yeah,
So
that
it would be
just
the attack
this
roll you're
but
reacting to. Yeah.
The bite's its strongest attack, so that's a good call anyway.
Yeah.
Still hits.
No, it misses, but the that's not its strongest attack.
It might
Is it not?
be.
Nope. Its claws are actually stronger,
Oh,
and it gets 2 of them.
yeah.
And that's why Celeste
might
ran
be-
away.
I might be going down here.
Chris, you
I'll
got
just double
this.
check. Does a 14 hit you though?
14's a tie.
So yeah.
That's why it was a 19 with the +5.
Well, this is gonna get rough.
Oh, so your armor class thing only lasts 1 round.
Yep.
Yep.
Because he
until the
did a
start of my
defensive-
next turn.
Then a defensive flourish again.
You should have.
Should have. Yes. Well,
Yeah.
hindsight is 2020. So that's
Yes.
6 damage from the bite.
No. Okay.
Then we've got claw. That's a mod 20.
I
Yep.
swear, Chris, if you go down and break my tether on you,
That's another 13 points of damage.
oh no,
Ouch.
Chris, Chris.
And we all thought Ben's character was the one that was gonna die.
Celeste was ready for this.
So,
This is where Celeste gets crit and just dies.
I'm curious, how much health do you actually have right now?
He
5.
has 5.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what I roll, because you're going down.
Okay.
Yeah, because you
Great.
hit.
We don't
And I
have
don't
a healer,
and
do we?
I can't roll high enough to insta kill you. So you're good on that front.
All right, so I'm just down.
Yep. On your next
Chris.
turn, start making death saves.
Yep.
We don't, and that was our healer.
That's fine.
Right.
Oh, God.
Wait, you just watched as this troll had basically laid into Salazar, and you watched them slump to the ground.
The troll isn't visibly bloodied yet, is it?
Oh no, it is bloody.
It's-
Oh, it is?
It is hurt.
Okay.
Oh god, was I the only one in our party with the healing spell?
I'm pretty sure
Yes.
you are.
Oh god.
God.
So when you hear Salazar go down, well, when Salazar goes down, Cass will just sort of say, "Ah, I knew I should have tethered the Arakakara."
Celeste like sees Salazar get knocked to the ground, and it's like, God, fucking damn it, Salazar.
Alright. I'm gonna roll a quick die.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yep. So I go in for a fireball, much less hesitant this time.
No shit.
And I get a 17.
A 17 will hit.
And then that will do 6 damage.
Sorry, that was 6 damage?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh.
oh,
Is that fireball?
Yeah.
yeah.
Good.
Alright,
Nice.
and you shut off its regeneration again.
Yep.
Good.
Ollie.
I'll shoot with the crossbow again. 19.
19 will hit.
For 8 damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then Ignis will force empowered rend again.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 4, so 17.
Yep.
For another 7 damage.
the troll's starting to look a little bit weird, worn down. You're not entirely certain, but you think it's starting to get on his last legs.
Yep. Now time for the death saves.
Yep, Salazar, first death save.
That's a failure.
Oh, yay.
I want to point out, if this troll lives and decides to attack Salazar twice, Salazar's just dead.
Yep, this
Yep.
could be a fantastic start for Salazar.
Yeah,
I also like to point out
I
that
never had
even-
I never had a character die in session 1 before.
I'd
Session
also like
one,
to point out
encounter
that even
one.
if you guys do kill it, my body is still right next to it.
Mhm.
Yes. You're the only one who's next to it other than the machine.
Yep.
Yeah, under the
Yes.
Iron Defender, which, by the way, if you're curious at all, it does count as an ally being within.
Good, I was just about to ask.
Here's the
'Cause it's
issue I'm
his turn.
seeing. If you guys kill it before it kills me, if it does, there's still
could
the risk
fall.
of it falling onto me.
You'll be fine. And
Right.
if you're not, you deserved it anyway.
Yeah.
Celeste.
Okay, so addressing that issue of where it's going to fall, Salazar's at its feet in front of it, isn't it? Isn't
Yep.
it? Aren't we? So I don't know if I can do this, but what I would like to do is I'd like to run up to this troll, and I would like to jump to try and attack it to knock it backwards, so that I jump. So that when I take a stab at it, I'm knocking it backwards. So if it falls, it's going to fall backwards instead of onto Salazar.
All right. After you make this attack, I'm gonna have you ask you to make an acrobatics check to land on your feet
Okay.
again. Otherwise, you will be.
The attack is a 16.
That is a hit.
Okay, and then that will be. And I'm just gonna add my sneak attack to that because I'm not.
You're
running
not.
away
You're
right now.
100% not acting around.
So that will be. So that's 11. Oh my god. So that's 6, 13, 17 damage. So I just. And then on the acrobatics check. Thank God for expertise. Where's my d20? That is a. Oh Jesus, that's a 27.
Yeah, you land lively and cat-like on your feet.
You rolled a 19 on the dice. Yeah,
Yup.
you were fine.
You get
Yep.
Need expertise.
Nope.
So it's not dead yet. So Cass,
Eldritch blast its face.
I'm gonna need Cass to really pull weight here.
I'm hoping so, because that's an 18 on the die.
That's a hit.
It sure is.
Wait, you
We
have
hope it's
you have,
25
you have
hits.
agonizing blast, right?
Yeah.
Then your minimum damage is enough to kill it.
Hey, but
Fabulous.
just to see if I'm finally useful, 10 damage. Not that useful.
Yeah, it at 4 HP.
nice.
And it goes its round, and since it can't regenerate, it dies.
Yeah.
Thank God. Can
At
I
this
just
point, I'll just sort of walk up to Salazar and attempt a medicine check.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know who has the highest medicine here, but it's probably not me.
I have decent medicine.
I was gonna actually say real quick, Ollie, don't you have cure wounds?
Oh, I might do.
Either way, I'm still
Yeah,
attempting.
I'm looking
Give
straight
me
at
a
your
sec.
character sheet. You do.
Yeah, okay.
That's probably
I'll use
better.
kill wounds.
No.
I'm still attempting a medical check, which is 6.
Well, okay, you fail, but hold on. You don't make him worse.
So I like when Cass is just like doing this medicine check, and Celeste just like puts her hand on their soldier and just kind of pulls them back, like just let Iskandar do this.
Yeah, so Iskandar, you assuming just out of first level slot.
Yeah.
Because yeah, that's actually all you have. What am I thinking? So yeah. So you cure him for D8 plus your plus 4.
8 plus 4, so 10.
Cool. You stand back up. You regain consciousness with 10 HP.
Yay.
Just so quick question. I'm taking it that Cleek is like the newest to the group.
Yes.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
only been with you guys for about 2 weeks.
So as Salazar gets up, I just kind of like walk past, pat him on the back, and I'm just gonna go up to Cleek and say, "Not bad, rookie."
So what I would have done is I would have come down sort of like from the sky kind of thing, landed, and like took a moment to try and like recompose myself kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which would have been obviously when you would have then approached me kind of thing.
Yeah, I would just be like, not bad, rookie. Thank God one of us had fire. And then I'm just gonna like wipe the blood, like the troll blood, and like shake it off my rapier and sheath it.
So while I was casting Cure Wounds, Ignis would have gone into sort of like a defensive position.
Yeah. As you survey the rest of the scene, it looks like the City Watch is handling everyone else well enough fine. None of them appear to be at all special. They just seem to be just the rank and file red shirts of the smuggling ring, so they're not at all not all that special.
Yep. And after the fight stops and Salazar is back up, who I'm gonna keep wanting to call Slytherin, I swear.
Whoops.
Cass will change back into the form they most often use, which is just... It's the form of about a 30-year-old man with long gray hair. Like, not gray as an old gray,
Right.
more silver, honestly.
Like a silver, like platinum blonde sort of. Well,
Yeah.
All right.
And he'll just say, well, I thought maybe the troll would be dumb enough to get distracted if it saw two of you, Celeste, but I guess not.
Celeste's gonna kind of flip her hair and says, "Well, my beauty is captivating."
As you say that, Ignis will respond with, "All is dust."
I just kind of look at Ignis and...
Thanks, Ignis.
Yeah, I'm gonna get, like, how big is Ignis?
He's basically a big suit of armor with like, it looks like blue fire from the eye slits.
I'm gonna give him like a, like that kind of jaunty, gentle kind of like punch on this, like gentle, like knock on the shoulder, and just be like, "You go, big guy."
Yeah, you
doesn't
go,
even-
big guy.
That was what I thought of as well.
He doesn't even move.
Right then.
I
So a couple minutes later, the City Watch has all of the smugglers detained, and they're escorting the prisoners that they had below out.
Goddamn. I just want to go. I'm gonna go up to one of the guards and be like, "Please, for the love of God, tell me there's no more trolls."
Nope. Aside from the people they were keeping down there, looks like we got everyone. If anyone else is away, though, we can't be certain of that at the moment.
Yes. Well, next time we're going to want a significantly higher payment for a job like that.
We paid you. Well. Don't worry, we'll factor in hazard pay to this. None of us saw this coming, least of which your boss.
I'm just again. Celeste is very touchy. Just gonna like pat him on the back and say, "Good man, you're good at your job," and then go back to the group.
like upon like hearing like him say that there's audibly say that there is no more trolls coming, like you all sort of like just for a moment see Cleek just like sigh a little bit and just like just like
Yeah. While everything was calming down, a crowd of the Sharn citizens had gathered around to see it. And I'm gonna need everyone to make me a quick perception check.
Which would have been higher if Chris didn't go down.
That's 21.
That's a 9.
16.
7.
Okay, so Quillic, Celeste, the both of you hear this pretty readily, just like these two women just gossiping. Just like, well, as curious as I see it to see the fallout from this. Let's get out of here. I mean no disrespect by the man, but I certainly don't want a chance to run in with their boss.
Are they referring to our boss?
Yes.
Knowing what we know about our boss, how does that make Celeste feel?
Well, you think it's rather understandable since your boss is a mind player.
Oh,
Well, that's fun. That's fun information I didn't know.
so Celeste is gonna kind of roll her eyes and then go to Cleek. People aren't used to it. Mind flayers are typically nasty buggers.
And then I'll just sort of respond, yeah, and change into a mind flare shape for a second. They have fantastic beards.
I'm just gonna turn to Cat and say, would you stop doing that in front of people? One of these days, someone's going to think you're really a mind flare.
Well, they'd have to be really stupid to think that.
There are some stupid people out there.
You just sort of see me sort of like look over at Cass and just sort of like nod in agreement with what Celeste just said.
So yeah, not too long after, as the crowd starts to dissipate, your boss, Mr. Elam himself, walks onto the scene. It's really weird to see a mind flayer out of the usual, like, sleek robes and whatnot, but he's wearing basically what amounts to basically a casual suit.
Oh my god! I was literally thinking, otherwise, you're gonna make him wear like a 3-piece suit. Just.
Nice.
Yeah, he's wearing like a 3-piece suit and a trench coat.
Oh my
And
god!
he's got like his tentacles like tied into like what is like a beard braid.
Why am I imagining the silence from Doctor?
Well, he's got like 4 tentacles on each side of his face that go down to maybe about there on his chest, and then 2 more like smaller ones that almost form like a mustache.
Oh, that's great.
Like I said, this is real funny considering what happened in the last session with Mind Flayer. There's a Mind Flayer in this game, and he's also on your side.
I'm just gonna go up to him and kind of salute him and be like, Mr. Elam, sharp as always.
Also, since we're working with a mind flayer, the first thing that came to my head is, are we the baddies?
Are we the
So
bad
yeah, no. So let's put this up front. One of the things about Eberron is that all of these things in the monster manual about them being evil and whatnot, yeah, you can't trust that for shit.
Yeah, it's out of the window with this plane apparently.
Yeah.
Jeez.
You're equally as likely to find an evil metallic dragon as you are, say, a lawful good orc.
Gotcha.
You cannot make snap judgments based on species in this setting.
Yeah.
Good
Interesting.
to know.
Sometimes orcs just want to settle down with a human.
How do you think half orcs
True.
get made?
We don't talk about that.
No, I don't want to get banned off Twitch.
TOS!
So yeah, Elm just looks over the scene, just like, thank you, Celeste. Well, looks like you certainly had your work cut out for you today.
I'll fucking
say
say, and
that.
I didn't even get a heal out of it.
I'll just sort of look at you all. We had it handled. It was fine. Only one of us went down, and that was for a very short amount of time. And I would have brought him back if Iskandar hadn't decided to heal him.
And I'm gonna shoot.
To that, Ignis will turn to you and go, shit, and I'll be like, Ignis, stop.
Yes, please. I'm gonna shoot a look at Salazar. I was like, well, if somebody had tuck and rolled like I told them to, we would have had to raise them.
Maybe if somebody would stop abandoning me on the front lines.
It's not my fault you're not as quick on your feet these days.
Alan just kind of looks at us, just like rubbing his temple, just like, all right, the pair of you, knock it off.
I'll just turn to Mr. Elm and say, well, on the bright side, the guards have confirmed we'll get our hazard pay for this mess of a mission.
Lord, by gods, I'd hope so. I'm just here to confirm that the missing person is indeed among the number, so we can close this case properly.
Then I'll just say, what was the name of the person we were looking for?
Went by the name of Val, I believe.
In that case, I suppose Celeste would at this point be assisting to try and make sure that Val was indeed within the number.
Yeah, you eventually find Val, who looks to be about 17, human.
Okay. So, and the whole deal was that she had been taken by smugglers, yeah?
Human traffickers, technically, but
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Is it Celeste or is it Mr. Elm that finds Val?
How about you just give me a quick investigation check?
Investigation.
I'm not gonna try that one.
That's 17.
All right.
Despite the fact that I'm in a detective agency, my investigation is garbage.
Same.
It's one of my only visions.
Hey, mine too.
Yeah, it's
So yeah, you managed to find her fairly quick.
I'll find this Val and trying to be gentle with her. I'll just be like, you're Val, correct?
She just kind of gives you a quiet nod.
I'm just gonna put my arm around her and say, don't worry, you're in safe hands now. You've got some people that are very worried about you. And I'm just gonna start leading her back to the group.
Yeah, Cass will walk up to meet you halfway and be like, so, Val, was there anything distinct about these people who took you? Any marks or anything?
I didn't see any marks, no.
And Cass just sort of looks down and is like, damn it.
I'm
my
gonna kind
fears
of.
aren't yet sated, but no, those fears have nothing to do with you, Val. Don't worry. It's just
I'm gonna
personal.
shoot a look at Cass, and I'm gonna be like, remember, Cass, that Val's been through a lot today. Now's perhaps not the time for interrogation.
Please, the time before asking questions is when it's fresh on someone's mind.
I kind of frown at that, and I'm like, and then I kind of come to the realization, and I'm like, oh, and do not be alarmed when you meet our boss. He's nicer than he looks. And I'm gonna just take her to Mr. Elm.
Yeah, no, when you bring her to Mr. Elm, like, she kind of, like, has a bit of, like, kind of goes a bit stiff, but is also very quick to relax after that, because Elm's reputation in Sharn is well known.
Yeah.
When she walks up, to no one particular, Ignis is gonna go, all is ash.
I'll just turn to Iskandar and say, can you not shut him up for 5 seconds?
I'll just gesture, and he'll wander off and just stand further away.
Put him in timeout.
Just shrugs and just like, right. I suppose I'll get this poor girl back to her family then.
And what's next on the docket for us?
Well, not sure at the moment. If you want to go ahead and head back to the office and relax, maybe see if we got any new cases that may need our attention.
I'll kind of nod. an acceptance at that. And let me just check something. Never mind. I was going to give something to Val, but I'm not going to give anything to Val. I'm going to give her a reassuring hand on the shoulder and say, "It's okay. You're safe now."
I like the fact that the mind flayer is not the scary thing. The giant suit of armor that's just said all his ass probably freaked her out.
Yeah.
With that, Celeste doesn't even like pay any mind to the rest of to see whether or not the rest of the group's following her. She's just like, once she's kind of reassured Val, she just kind of starts sauntering back towards where the offices are, trying to kind of keep towards the sides of the streets and out of sight.
Yeah, and before following Celeste, Cass will just turn to Val and say, "If you remember anything that you may not have thought of before, please contact us."
I will do so. Thank you.
And then I'll just walk off, and as I'm walking off, I'll just take the rather shapeless and featureless form a changeling can have at some points, and I'll just be like, need to relax.
I'm gonna kind of slow down and let Cass catch up and turn and say, "You know, I've never enjoyed that form of yours. There's something eerie about it."
Yes, well, quite frankly, takes a little bit of mental effort to keep up a proper form.
And yet you can still never quite get my nose right.
It's true. It's true. You consistently fuck up the nose. You've known each other for months. Still can't get the nose right.
Oh, my first thought of that was freaking Odo from Star Trek. Just how he could never get the fucking nose right.
Yep. And then, as Cass will just sort of stand there as Celeste continues walking and say, "Well, it's not my fault you have such a large nose," under his breath.
Like, can I make a perception check to see if I hear that?
Yes.
That's a crit! That's a crit! Oh, which even with the bonus, God, that would be 25. Definitely heard that. I like stop, heel turn, and like just put a finger out and I'm like, watch it. I can still hear the things you say, you know. And then I'm gonna kind of like turn away, but as I turn away, I'm like self-consciously feeling my nose.
Like going cross-eyed looking at it. Oh god, I can see it.
Yeah. So yeah, Ellen dismisses a lot of you, tells you to return to the office for now.
Yep. That's fair enough.
Okay, back to the offices then.
Yeah.
While on the way, you come across what seems to be the sound of doors banging open and the sound of something being thrown out into rubbish bins.
Okay. Hopefully food and not a person.
Is it somebody disposing of their yard trimmings?
Well, you very quickly hear the what seems to be something very angry and inkish.
Oh. Angry and in gish.
No, in orcish.
Oh, orcish. I thought you said gish, and I was like, whoa. In orcish. So, do I need to make a perception check to see if I can figure out where that's coming from?
No, you heard it was clear enough that you're able to pretty easily figure out where it was coming from. It came up like about a block away.
I want to get as close to that as possible to see what I can see, but I want to do it sneakily.
So
Cool.
I'll do the same, and I'll change the color of my cloak to match with the colors of the surroundings, and the color of my skin and hair as well to match the colors of the surroundings.
Nice.
Natural camouflage.
Cool. You get stealth on advantage then.
Well, I don't need advantage because that's a crit.
And that is a 17.
Cool.
When,
so neither
when,
of you.
when we were making our way back, I didn't mention this because I didn't realize we were gonna run into something. But because I prefer to be in the air rather than walking, I would have been like flying above the group kind of thing at
Yeah,
the point
that's
where they seem to stop. So if there's anything extra I would see from that.
Good.
So yeah. As these two chuckleheads are down here at the corner trying to get a look without being noticed, you get a much better view from up forward. You see that an orc standing at the door, angrily pointing at someone and shouting at them before slamming it. And then moments later, a humanoid girl stands up and shouting back in orc, equally as angry.
I want to whisper to Cass. Anybody here speak Orcish?
I don't believe so.
Bugger. I'm gonna kind of peer around. I'm gonna try and get the girl's attention subtly and gesture her over.
Cool. As you try and get her attention, she looks over at you, and you actually know this person.
Oh. Who is it?
Their name, let me make sure I'm getting it straight, is Ashlyn Ventros.
And how do I know Ashlyn Ventral?
Ashlyn Ventros is one of Elam's contacts. Specifically, she is a reporter for the Dura Independent.
Okay. As soon I go to like gesture her over subtly, and then I see who it is, and I'm like, and I just kind of go, and I step out, and I'm like, Ashlyn, what are you doing now?
Oh, I was doing nothing beyond my duty as a member of the press. This is called censorship, you know.
Like seeing them approach someone and obviously visibly stop, like I come down basically and land right next to them, kind of thing.
I'll probably jog to catch up with this.
I'll probably be last with Ignis.
I'll just sort of step out from being against the wall and change back to proper, like, human colors and probably scare her half to death.
I like how it's like I kind of come out of the shadows and I'm like, oh hey Ashlyn, and then a bird lands right next to her. I come out from the wall, and then it's kind of comes like walking around the corner with fucking Ignis clunking behind.
Does the freaking like hero landing on one knee?
Like when Click lands, I'm just gonna turn to Ashlyn and kind of like I look at everyone and I shake my head and I'm like, does nobody understand the meaning of subtlety these days?
Literally after you say that, as Ignis stops, Ignis will just sort of stare around like this and just go, ah.
it's like just no one understands subtlety. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake.
It's you lot again. So suppose Elam had you just on. Still about that missing person case he's been working?
Yes.
Well, they're
ended
no
in
longer a missing person.
person found along with a very angry and oddly intelligent troll.
Well, likely got the security out of Drum. They're fairly sought after for at least big dumb muscle, very least.
Yes, muscle is one word to describe it, and he kind of shoots a look at Salazar. And why, pray tell, are you harassing the orcs today?
I'm not harassing. I was asking just a simple couple questions about what they could tell me about some of the local orc gangs around here, and for some reason they took exception to that.
So, is this like a bar that she was in?
It's not a bar. It definitely appears to be like a private building.
I was gonna look at the building and look at her and say, so you're telling me you walked into a private orc building, presumably filled with at least semi-innocent people, and began asking questions about violent gangs?
Well,
I just chirp up. I fail to see a problem in this.
I kind of look at Click and I look back at Ashlyn and I'm like, Jesus Christ. It turns out it's not just subtlety, but tact is dead as well.
Dust.
I just sort of say, well, I mean, I'd offer to help, but I don't know Orcish, and I'll transform into what looks to be a very short and skinny orc. I can't disguise as an orc that well.
it's fine. It's fine. I'll just have to call this a wash. Come on, you could at least walk with me the rest of the way back to my office. It's not far.
Celeste's gonna sigh and say, at least try and be subtle when we're walking back.
I'll do my best, but you know how it is.
As you say that, like, Ignis will walk into like something that's just sort of in the way, like a bucket or something like that.
And I immediately just take off again. I'm like, okay. Just...
I must go to my people.
And
just gonna...
Cass just ticks on the humanoid visage he is usually in again.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, as you're walking, Ashlyn's kind of just like walking with this like handliner. Just so, got anything interesting you may want to tell Dura before the story hits print?
Well, before the story hits print, it would be useful to know if you recognize the person we encountered. And conveniently, I can make a very good image of the person we encountered. With my face.
With my face.
Just had to clarify that.
Yeah.
I like the idea of, rather than having like wanted posters, you're just walking around going, "Have you seen this person?" Changes that person.
So yeah, Ashlyn kind of leans in, just kind of goes, sorry, love, not someone I recognize. Likely now, if I had to guess, probably a foreigner.
Celeste's gonna sarcastically say, maybe you should transform into the troll. Maybe she'd recognize him.
I'll just sort of look at Celeste and say, you know I can't do that. I like having hair.
God, would you two save the lover squabble?
Celeste like shoots a look directly at Salazar and says, watch your tongue. I could easily cut it out.
Ignis will pipe up again with dust.
Cass just laughs and is like, whip Celeste?
and Celeste at that point is kind of like, and what do you think is so funny about that?
While all this is going on, I'm going to move this away and just start tinkering. Like with a book out and stuff, and like...
I'll have you know,
Hey.
I could have any woman or man I so sought after in this shithole.
Yes, and I could be any woman or man you sought after.
Celeste is like visibly frustrated at that, and it's just like, well, you'd still get their nose wrong, and I'm storming off.
Ashlyn just kind of sighs, just like, oh, well, the both of you just fuck later.
Celeste is just like, come on, the officers are waiting for us. At this rate, Ellen will be back before we are.
Yeah, As you pass an alleyway, and just let a quick whistle, and you watch as a tiny little pixie flutters down into the alleyway.
So was it the pixie that made the whistle?
Ashlyn made the whistle.
And the pixie.
And then the pixie's maybe about 2 feet high and is carrying what looks to be like a roll of parchment. All right, what you got? Wallflower. Wait, you weren't seen, right? Pixie nods, just like good. Ashley takes paper, unrolls it, just like, yes, got him.
This has got Celeste's attention.
Care to enlighten the rest of the crowd?
Oh, well, those old games I mentioned? Yeah, no, those guys, total suppliers. Their dirty laundry is going to be aired all over the front page during Independent tomorrow.
I'm glad to see your integrity hasn't faltered in the time I saw you.
Oh, lighten up. I'm doing a service. They're criminals. No one's going to care.
Oh, I wouldn't say no one. Adding a gang like that, you might want to watch your back more than usual for the next couple days.
Well, if they're going to come after the Independent, they're going to themselves in a bigger fight than perhaps they bargained for.
And if you need our help, remind me to double the price.
Oh, that's so sweet that you care. Wallflower. Did you find anything about the other Pixie Six shows? It's like, damn. Oh well, that one was a bit of a long shot, but.
And what else are you investigating?
Well, personal project of mine. Looking to see if they'd heard anything about strange orc ruins around Corvair.
Orc ruins?
Yeah, it's just a personal pet project of mine, related to my old degree.
Do I know what that degree is?
Yes, you do, in
I'm
fact.
assuming history or something.
She's specifically an anthropologist.
Oh.
You know that in her, before working for the Independent, that she was basically a cultural reporter, and that she went around to various dig sites reporting on the artifacts and whatnot found.
Celeste is just gonna say,
Uh,
"Oh, how times change from orcish artifacts to orcish bombs."
Gotta pay the rent somehow.
Celeste like looks at the huge gash she has in her shoulder from the troll. Yes, I suppose you're right.
Well, I suppose you not need to head back to the office, but please, when you get the time, please come by the Independent. We would sure love to get an interview statement from you regarding what happened.
Sure, I'll get right on that. And I'm just starting to walk away as I say.
Nobody likes the sarcastic bitch, Celeste.
I'm just gonna say, you know I don't like being in public for too long.
Cass just sort of turns into a random human he saw off the street a couple minutes ago. What are you talking about? I wasn't involved in the incident.
Like in trying to get a statement, she has Cleek flying above, like terrified of what's going on. Cass pretending it has nothing to do with it. Celeste not interested at all. And then, however, Sandar and Salazar reacting.
I'm focusing on Ignis. It looks like I'm actually like talking either to myself or to Ignis
One or the other.
while sort of in the book, like writing stuff.
I'm just gonna. We'll see what comes up when we have time.
All right, well, you know our address. And to which you realize, yes, you unfortunately do know the address.
That is very unfortunate.
So Celeste's just heading back to the office. She's now worried that if Elam
And-
gets there before us, he's going to be annoyed.
Cass just sort of catches up to Celeste and whispers, well, doesn't even need to catch up. Cass uses message, because that's a cantrip I have, and sort of whispers to Celeste, you know full well why I can't be in the press.
And do I get to respond with message?
Yes.
You get one response, yes.
I'll wait. One word response? Did you say?
No, just you get a response, and then he would have to cast it again for you talking.
I would.
basically.
I'd just respond with, "Don't worry, I know, but I don't want to draw attention to that in the middle of the street."
So just gonna attempt to head back to the office at this point.
Celeste is like trying to like power walk without making it look like she's power walking because she's like, I don't want to get a bollocking off of our boss if we're late.
I'm gonna be engrossed with Ignis.
And to keep up with Celeste, Cass has just become as tall as they can with their shape-shifting to get those long legs.
Like, I am actively snaking in the sky because I have like a 50-foot movement range when I'm flying. So like,
So I'm gonna while I'm walking with Cass, I'm just gonna say, you know anything? So what's the deal with the new guy? Do his legs not work?
I'll just sort of respond, I mean, I think he's just an idiot.
Celeste is just gonna kind of roll her eyes and say, well, I suppose he's part of the team then, isn't he? And keep walking.
So yes, you make it back to the off.
I'll probably arrive like 10-15 minutes after everyone else because
Yeah.
nobody's told me to come back, and I've just been sort of like talking to Ignis like while writing in the book because nobody's
up?
like, come on. It looks like everyone's gone. Like, oh, look at Ignis. Ignis goes, writes in book, moves on.
I like to think we all get back and then Celeste is doing like a headcut of everyone and is like, oh, for God's sake. I'm not going out looking for them this time. And then I go storming inside the offices.
They'll find their way here eventually. We weren't that far from the office.
You really weren't. You're maybe like a 5-minute walk. But yeah, no, the office is sort of still in shambles. Because even though Elam has a very solid reputation, he doesn't actually tend to get a lot of cases.
got you.
And even then, they tend to be cases that people first bring to the Adventurers Guilds, but they turn away for some reason. So his cases tend to be like the sloppy seconds.
Yeah. Celeste is just gonna be waiting, and wherever we've been told to wait, on like a chair, feet up on a table, just like idly scraping away at the chair with daggers.
Yep. Like, I'll be there. I'll just be like taking care of my feathers or something.
I'll probably be
So-
off to one side playing
How-
my lute.
How long will we be waiting there? Long enough
good
for a
question.
short rest, perhaps?
I'm gonna find out real quick.
Zach's like, please
yeah,
give me
I-
my spell slot back.
Yeah, long enough.
Spell slot.
I think this is the first time I'm actually going to use a hit die.
Right?
Oh my god, which is... Oh, thank god, a d8 plus 3. That's okay.
I need to remember what my hit dice are.
Oh, I've never been happier to see a max fucking... Well, I'd say max damage roll, but it's not a max damage roll.
You take this much damage. Oof.
Yeah. While you're waiting about, Everyone, who has the highest passive perception? Out of curiosity.
Passive perception 15.
Not me.
Passive perception.
Give me a sec. Passive's 13.
Yeah, mine's 13.
13.
And 15. Everyone's got 13 apart from.
All right,
Hey,
Celeste, you
mine
actually
gets higher when I'm tethered to someone.
So Celeste, you actually do notice that there seems to be a fresh paper in the in tray for the office. So,
Definitely having a little read of that.
there isn't much to it. It just seems to be a letter. Lady Celica Wincarin that's asking if they could if the office can see about a new case looking for a missing gemstone.
I'm gonna kind of read through it and see that it's kind of like, Silica, Windcurtain looking for gem, and there's not a huge amount of detail in it. I'm just gonna read it, put it on the boss's desk, and address everyone and be like, well, at least we've got another job. Doesn't look particularly interesting.
I'll immediately take a look at the paper and be like, missing gemstone? What are you talking about? This is like proper detective stuff.
Celeste is gonna be like, there's barely any details in it. How are we supposed to go off of such a short letter like this? What do these people
How
want
can you
from
let
us?
something such as no details get in the way? We go meet them in person and get the details there.
Oh yes, my favorite. More interrogation.
Listen, if you don't want to be there, you don't have to. I'll just be there for you. And I'll just shapeshift into Celeste again.
Celeste turns and goes, no, we're not doing that again.
It didn't work last time.
It's the last time I trust you to be me.
So yeah, while you two are having this conversation, the door opens and Ellum walks back into the office, hanging his coat up by the door.
I'm just sort of excitedly grab the paper and hand it to him, and I'm like, hey, we have a mission that looks exciting and fun.
Yeah. He was about to take off his hat and he takes it from you just Celica Winco. Name sounds familiar. Why is that?
Is the name familiar to any of the rest of us?
No.
I mean, yeah, probably not for Rob if we're being perfectly honest, but oh right, I think she's a representative from House Kenneth.
Ooh, how's Kenneth? That's a I want to know about.
Yeah, and suddenly Cass just looks more excited. Just like, this is a super big, important client as well.
It would certainly appear so. If they're calling us for this, it's likely no small matter, although why they went to us first is equally as interesting. It's not as though, unlike many of our clients, they can't afford Adventurer Guild rates.
It must be the certain charm that we bring with our services.
I'll just sort of look over at Celeste. I'll look over at Celeste and say, more likely it's because they think if they hire us, this, whatever the issue is, won't be as widely known as if they hire the Adventurers Guild.
I sort of walk up to them and say, may I have a look? Just so I can look at the job details kind of thing, just to see what it involves.
Oh yeah, none of us have actually said the job details.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to, and then you started reading it out loud. That's what happened. I went to start explaining it, and then you grab it off me, and you're like, a gemstone!
It's just just sitting off to the side, quietly trimming my loot.
I'm still in the book, just like sort of muttering to myself, writing stuff.
And I say, is what was taken important, I assume?
Well,
Important, maybe not so, but certainly valuable if this is any indication.
In what way is it valuable?
Well, describes the
That's-
gemstone as a black opal.
a black opal.
Don't often see a lot of them around, so...
Which again does beg the question why they wouldn't go to the Adventurers Guild unless they want to keep the situation hidden for some reason.
Yes, but regardless of specifics, it's our duty as inquisitives to approach the case fairly, rationally, and with haste.
And I'll just sort of look around and be like, cool, does anyone have lockpicking tools?
Why would I need lockpicking tools? I
At
just sort of
that,
look at them.
Ignis will just sort of look at you.
I mean, I have thieves' tools.
That's basically that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've got my thieves' tools, and I deliberately put a hand over them, and what do you want them for?
Oh, come on, you've heard the stories about detectives trying to find lost gemstones. They always have to break into somewhere.
Yes, and I much more trust these tools in my hands than your shape-shifting lump.
I turn to Celeste and say, why would you have lockpicking tools?
I'm gonna kind of turn to Cleek and kind of take a step back and gesture at myself and say, I'm a woman of many talents, and those talents do not concern you, Birdman.
I just kind of like accept, like you see me just sort of like, okay. I just accept it. Just like, yeah, all right.
Okay. Whatever we say.
So like while all this is going on, I'm gonna be sort of sat out the way, but like Ignis is going to be sort of in the way. He's just gonna be sort of standing there.
He's like the awkward NPC in like a cutscene.
He's doing like the Skyrim walk into the chair,
Yeah.
like on the spot.
Yeah,
He's just sort of stood staring at nothing, sort of in the way. Like the door's not far behind him, so if you open the door, you've just got like armor. Like, oh,
Well,
I'm gonna turn to Iskandar and say, is he always going to be so, starey?
at that I'll be like, probably. Looking through the book, like, maybe. I don't know. Never really done it before.
What's his deal with ash and dust?
Who knows? I tried to get him to talk, but that's all he knows.
Does he require a vacuum cleaner?
At that, Ignis will like turn his head towards you and just be like, "Dust."
Sounds like a yes to me.
Celeste is gonna say, maybe he's just commenting on the state of this office.
Cass will just respond, oh, this isn't that bad. It's much better than where I lived before.
I can always blow dust away if it's needed.
Oh, for the love of God, don't start kicking up dust now. The last thing I want is my allergies flaring up before our mission.
Cast gust of wind in office. Just like, blows everything everywhere.
Like paper and dust, everything.
I like the idea that everyone's sort of like covering their eyes and stuff like that, and Ignis is just standing in the middle, just like.
I just like how during all of our character interactions, Bryn's just sitting there like, oh, why am I DMing again?
You love it. You know it.
I know.
It hurts so much, but he loves it.
Well, regardless. Oh, I'm just spark something else. Regardless, I'm gonna have a quick pop down to the local communication stations and see if I can get a message to our clients and get specifics about the gemstone, about size, where it was last seen.
Even better, why don't you just invite one of their representatives to come talk to us?
Not entirely certain how well I would be received going up to them. So, you know how some of the noble folk are like.
And
Too well.
I'll just sort of shapeshift into this very noble-looking man, change my cloak color to be... Well, I changed my cloak to look like it's made of the finest material, and it's got lots of colors on it, and I'm just like...
Who
Well-
needs... I just looked at it. Who needs fancy clothes when you have these beautiful feathers?
When he says that, can I pluck one out and put it behind my ear? Just like pluck a feather, put it behind my ear and say, well, it does complement the blue of my skin.
Yeah, I was just like... They're going to know that anyone, speaking on my behalf, isn't of their cloth. Gasp, but I appreciate it.
I'll just shapeshift back to my normal self, and the cloak just goes to a... It looks like it's ragged and heavily used when I'm my normal self.
Gotcha.
So I was gonna say, well, if you're sending a letter, how long is this going to take? Because I need a drink.
Well, wasn't going to send it a letter, high priority. I'm going to shell out the extra funds and just get a sending spell done immediately from the station.
Bottom shelf office whiskey it is then.
Don't worry, it's coming straight out of my pocket. I've got funds set aside for exactly these high priority clients.
I like to think like Silas has a bunch of different alcohol sources stashed around the office, and I just like kick one of the panels on the floor and it knocks up, and there's like a half-empty bottle of whiskey in there, and I just start pouring it into my mouth, and then put the bottle back under it and click the floorboard in. It's like, well, one will have to do.
And I
Chris,
just sort of look around the office and I'm like, how is it I never find these stashes of yours?
Because I know you're looking.
Chris, is your character still playing the lute, like over to the side, kind of not really paying attention?
Probably yes, because he's about had enough of the bickering.
Gotcha. I will like head over to you and basically pull out my pan flute and try and join in.
Performance!
Alright, both of you make performance checks.
Oh, Cass is going to go over and shapeshift into a singer he saw once and start singing along.
Oh god.
Cool, you get a performance check too.
Well, that's a 23 on mine.
Holy shit.
23.
I got a 16 on my roll, which is pretty
I'm
good.
gonna point out before I say the number, I don't have proficiency in performance. I still get a +5. That's an 8.
Wow.
Cool. So, Chris, Rob, both of you were doing pretty solid. Like, it took Rob was a couple measures to like get
Find the flow that matched.
Yeah.
exactly get into the flow, but and then this fuck.
I like to think that like they're playing and like just like before Cass joins in, like Rob's finding his groove, and then
Yeah.
I'm kind of
Yeah,
getting
just
into it.
coming
Like,
down
oh,
to it.
this sounds really good, and I'm kind of getting into it. Like, yeah, and then Cass starts singing, and I'm like, oh, there it is.
And
At that point,
being self-aware, I'll just sort of say, I've still not gotten the vocal cords of this shape quite right.
Damn it, Cass. Can't you let me have 5 minutes to play without fucking it up?
Like literally, as the terrible singing comes out, Iskandar's going to be sort of scratching his head, looking at the book, and then like Ignis is going to walk out the room.
Even the new guy's got better tune than you do. Shut up for once in your life.
I turn to Salazar and I'm like, I apologize if I wasn't able to keep up.
No, you're fine, man. It's this fuck over here.
Exactly, it's this fuck over here.
So I'm gonna turn to Cass and say, Jesus, even the last album, like Fairy Boy and the Monster Man, was better than that.
Oh my god. What a throwback.
So yeah. So yeah, Elam's about to like put his coat back on. Well, I'll be back soon. Oh, do you think a couple of you can run down to the Independent? I needed to deliver something to the editor.
When you say run down to the Independent, Celeste kind of looks around the room looking for anybody to take this job other than her.
I'll do it.
Yeah, I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So as anyone goes towards the door and goes out the door, Ignis is going to be like standing like a foot outside the door.
Oh, Jesus.
Oi! Yeah, Elam's just like, hey, Scan, you mind telling your defender to move, to budge off for a minute?
Like, it'll literally just move its head and then step sideways a couple.
Thank you.
Oh dear.
But all the while, Iskandar's just like, just in the book, just scratching his head, just like, oh.
Yeah. So before you two, before Chris, Rob, and Elam part off, Elam hands you a small package.
Yeah.
Just be sure to give this straight to the.
No problem. You can count on me.
Will do.
Little does he know, I used to be a postman.
Nice.
Returning to his old job.
Like, as Cleek and Salazar are walking out, and as Elam is walking out, like, I see them leaving, and I'm just kind of like, oh, finally. And I just plop back down in the chair, put the feet up again, and just start playing with the knife again.
Mm-hmm.
And I roll a 16 on investigation to try to find some of Celeste's hidden alcohol.
Cool. Hold on a second. You don't find shit, Captain.
I see him looking, and like, to throw him, like, there's a point where, like, the only one he'll know where it is the one in the floor. And as he, like, I see him edging towards it, and I just, like, throw the knife and go, boom, sink it right into where that panel is and say, touch it and it's your fingers next time.
Yeah, can't shape shift those back if you know they get cut off.
Yeah.
Conservation of mass. All right. So yeah, you two. Rob, you obviously don't know where to go because you haven't been in here terribly long. But Salazar, you had enough dealings with the Independent that you're able to find the office fairly easily.
It's an unfortunate truth.
How, like, what size are you as a character?
Medium.
So medium size.
Yeah.
Rob's just here thinking, I wonder if I could carry him.
Maybe.
But I'm assuming you can only carry smaller, tiny creatures.
Generally, I'm not entirely certain, but I also don't have a lot of strength. So unless he was like just a small creature, I wouldn't even try.
If he were small, then I'd probably let you have it. But the medium is gonna be a strength check.
Yeah,
for you to
and like I have that strength, so like I wouldn't even try if he was like of a decent size. But I wasn't sure. I couldn't remember quite what race Chris was. So
I am a shifter.
Yeah, and shifters are not small.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay, yeah, then I will sort of like awkwardly sort of like walk and follow where he's going, because my on-land movement speed is only 25 feet as opposed to...
Oh.
That's why you prefer to fly.
Yes.
Yep, no, there's a reason why he prefers the reasons.
My movement speed goes from 25 to 50. It like doubles in the air.
So yeah, you all walk into the office of the Independent, and the news room is alive with activity as it's late in the afternoon.
Is there a
The
name on
weekly
the... No, go on, Carol.
yeah, and they need to get the pages ready for the edition tomorrow.
Yep.
Is there a name on the package that we will bring in?
There is, in fact, a name, and the name is Rugrork.
Okay.
I will put that in the Norse chat for you.
And this was the editor's name?
Yeah. I will, as I enter, I'll just sort of like broadcast delivery for a Rugrork.
Wow, he has been postponed before.
Yeah, that's a bit of backstory I made up, and I'm actually just gonna run with. So.
I'm fine with
And
that.
I would never
So,
get
yeah.
where Rob would get the idea of a Birdman being a
I
postman.
know, right?
So yeah, the newsroom doesn't quite come to a complete halt as you shout the name, but everyone does kind of slow down, just looking at you, just like, huh, that's new. Like a couple people actually wave and just go, "Hey, Salazar." They don't know makeup. Quit right now.
He's new. Sorry.
Soon after, a very voluptuous-looking woman steps up to you two, just like, package for the old editor then.
Yep. Special orders to be
Salaz-
delivered to his hands only.
Salazar, you know who this woman is because of your previous dealings with the Independent.
Yeah.
Then you know that her name is Jilrel.
Want to give me the spelling for that?
In the chat. There's also no. Hold on. There should be an L before that R, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And you also know that Jilrel is a succubus.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
Maybe I should have gone with you.
No, that
Celeste
would
has
have
a weird feeling in her heart that she should have gone today.
You know that Jilrel runs a column in the Independent.
Oh, Drill, hey. Oh.
Specifically a questions and answers column for relationship advice.
Kind of like an agony aunt.
Kinda, yeah.
Pardon me, where's my manners? This is Cleek. He's a new member of the guild.
Well, pleasure to meet you, Greek. I trust old Elam isn't driving you too hard.
Not too bad. It's usual stuff.
I just sort of look at her impatient, like, is Rugrok here?
Yeah, to which you hear, I'm just like, Jill, the hell, why ain't you working on your column? If it's ready for tomorrow, I'm gonna have your wings on my shelf!
Sounds like he is. Yeah.
There he is.
No, unfortunately, he is here. And then, out of the back office storms this very well-dressed bugbear munching on a cigar.
Bring me pictures of Loaf, man!
I mean, you're joking, but... No, this is basically if J. Jonah Jameson was just a bugbear.
Oh my god.
That's his baseline.
I
Please
love
tell
it.
me he's got a cigar.
Yeah,
Yeah, he said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fat one.
Love it.
Give me a second.
You haven't guessed the gist of my character. He's very to the point.
So yeah.
And that's why you only have +3 charisma.
Yup.
I'm just gonna kind of like peek around Girl. Sorry, Red Rourke, my fault.
Of course it's you lot. Why is it always whenever my grind and hold? It's always you lot. Huh?
You're on business this time. Delivery from the boss, man.
Like I say, upon realizing that he's the one that needs the package, I present it to him. It's like a delivery for you.
Yeah, was wondering when he's finally gonna get this to me. Jill, beards all, set this on my desk. It's like, sure thing, boss. And you watch, and you kind of watch as he walks away. Once, like, she's firmly behind him, you watch him, like, flip a finger at him. Alright, heard you boys helped bust that human trafficking ring today.
Yeah. About time that case got settled.
Yes.
Well-
I sort of look a little bit, kind of like remembering it and kind of being like, yes. Just sort of like,
Well,
He's not going to be a great person to have as a witness in the paper.
well, we're gonna run like a small piece on it for tomorrow's edition, just to get it out in time before those other papers get a chance. But you know, since we're such good friends, it'd really be appreciated, Salazar, if you can get old Squid Face to do make a statement for the paper.
I turn to him and say, what kind of statement?
Just I'll talk about the case, just the process, you know, just help people understand exactly all the work that went into this case.
I'll see what I can do.
I sort of turn to him and say, as far as I'm aware, it was a fairly standard case.
You think a case that involves a troll busting out to try and bang some heads together is a normal case? Oh, you're right, kid.
How did you know about the troll?
This is Sharn, kiddo. Word travels fast.
Leek, you have a lot to learn. Yes. I'll let him know you want to talk to him when he gets back in. He had some other business to run.
By the way, you all ain't seen little Miss Ventros around, have you?
Do I even know who that is?
Yes, we do. That's
That's
Ashlyn.
the reporter we
Yeah.
were trying to.
Oh, that's who she was called. Okay, cool.
To be fair, you don't know who she is, though.
No, because I wasn't really involved in that at all.
Let's see. Okay. Saw her for a minute earlier today. Said she was heading back this way.
She got that info she was looking for?
As far as I know, she got what she needed.
Well, one thing can be said for little Ashlyn: when she's got her mind to a job, nothing's gonna stop her.
You can say that again. Gets her into more trouble than it's worth sometimes.
Nonsense! I'd love to have 10 reporters just like her.
If you say so. And then at that point, I'm just gonna like try to turn to leave.
Well, you all take care. Give my best regards to Squid Face.
As always.
I turn to him and go, Squid Face.
Man, he really is new, ain't he?
Yep. Boss man.
Oh, is that a nickname?
You could say that.
Okay. Jot that to memory.
All right. Then, so yeah, after doing that, you both return to the office, and it's not too much longer before Elam returns as well.
When you get back, Ignis moved back in front of the door.
Oh lord.
I think while they're away, I've just been like discussing with Cass, and I've been like, "So what do you think of the new kid? He seems interesting."
I'll just sort of respond, well, I can't disguise as him.
I'm just gonna raise an eyebrow and say, "What is it? The big beak this time you can't get quite right."
More likely the wings.
Yeah.
I'll just say, actually, it's the wings. Big beak I can do just fine. After all, you should remember the time I did.
And then when he says that, I'm just gonna like put the knife into the arm of the chair and go, "And this is why I drink."
And I'll just sort of say, and the reason why I drink is because you refuse to admit that Nostradamus Bell is a good name for my noble.
A good name? It sounds ridiculous.
Can I already say I just love these two immediately?
It's great, isn't it?
Nostradamus Bell? It sounds like something out of fairy tale.
Exactly! Besides, I'm not gonna actually remember it unless it has something to do with the character I'm trying to portray myself as.
Oh,
Yeah,
brilliant. A noble name you can't even remember. A noble family that, you know, prides on their names.
At that point, I'm just watching, just kind of. He goes, "Well, I imagine that's a bit pot kettle black there, Celeste, with your fairy tale names."
Celeste is gonna shoot him a look and go, "You know fine well what this name means to me, Squid Face."
Yes, I do know, but point still stands.
I'll have you know that it's as beautiful as the moon is. Flipping my hair, putting my feet back up on the table.
How long into this would we arrive back?
That's the
Probably about this point. And Elam just points a finger, just goes, "Oi, feet off table."
I'm gonna kind of sigh and like stomp my feet on the ground and go, "It's got to be something to make this place at least a little comfortable."
I love how much of a freaking diva Ben's character is. Like,
Wait, are we at all surprised? We have met Ben before. Right?
That's true, yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna comment on it, but if you guys are, we'll be just like, if we can certainly track more high-profile cases to the agency, we'll be able to afford furniture. Maybe you won't be sticking your knives in them.
As when he says that, I kind of look over and try to subtly like pull the knife out of the wooden arm and sheath it back again. Like, oops.
I'll just be like, well, maybe our bird boy knows a mending spell.
as I enter the office, basically, I like proudly go up to Ellen and say, "I have successfully delivered the package, Squidface."
So as you say that, I'll be like this, and then I'll just like.
I'm just gonna be like palm over face. Like,
And literally, as that happens, the door opens, and all you see is like Ignis lean round.
Just
I like. This is the first thing you've heard. This is the first thing you've heard Celeste laugh out loud at. Dennis is like, I've delivered the package. Squid face. Celeste is just like, oh, I like this kid.
The thing is, I do it so proudly. Like, I'm like...
This is what I get for sending the new kid to meet Rugwork, isn't it? Well, got good news and I got bad news.
Okay.
Good news is, definitely got a better description on the gem we're looking for, and it's a doozy.
Bad
Let
news?
me guess. The bad news is we're all going to die.
I'll just say,
Let's work up to it.
I'll just sort of look at Celeste and say, please, for looking for a gem, it would have to be hidden in a dragon's lair or something for that.
How much time do you spend reading those ridiculous fantasy stories?
Well,
Just
it takes
just like, yeah.
They're
I was
quite
just like,
long,
both of you,
so, you
both
know.
of you, knock it off. We're in business mode now.
At the moment, like, he mentions dragon, you just sort of see me momentarily kind of wince and then go back to my normal composure kind of thing.
So yeah. Gemstone is maybe not... It's probably an accurate term for what we should have been using, but it's also very much doesn't seem... Because it's about, that big.
Oh,
I'm just gonna look around and say, yeah, I cannot lift that thing. Someone else will have to do that whenever we find it.
Is
So
that
that's kinda,
abnormal
like, you
for a
see-
gemstone?
Celeste like stands up and like puts her hands on Cleek's shoulders and is like, "Oh, it's abnormal. It's large and it's worth a lot of money, I'm sure."
Just
Yes,
like me,
I'm-
wink.
Unsure of... Unsure of its action. They seem to have not wanted to quite divulge that information, but they've made clear that it could potentially run about 600,000.
When that number gets dropped, like the grip on Cleek's shoulders tightens a bit, and Celeste's like, "Jesus fuck!"
And you just sort of hear Cass say, why are they hiring us?
Discretion seems.
Have they
How
met
much?
us?
Yeah.
Have they named a price?
Well, I told them our standard rates, but they seem quite ready to charge us 50 gold pieces a day while we're gone looking for this, plus expenses.
And I'm just gonna sort of look around. Well, it looks like we're gonna go look for a gemstone, and I walk out of the office.
Oh,
and
hang on,
then about
hang
half a
on.
minute later, I walk back in. Wait, where should we look?
Well, that's the bad news. Apparently, it was picked up out on the roads outside of Sharn. So we're going to have. I'm gonna have to send you lot out to find it.
So Celeste is like totally focused on Ellen right now. Is just like, so when you say plus expenses,
Means they'll also be paying for any food services related to the job.
and what's the name I should be putting the bar tab in?
Let's not get too hasty. The gemstone was picked up mid-route between Sharn and another city. Don't know where exactly what it is, but it seems that they were... The only thing of note around it seems to be some old ruins.
Orcish ruins?
Yeah, Celeste's ears gonna prick up at that and are like,
Not entirely certain of that, but it wouldn't surprise me, 'cause how many we have been dug up these past few years.
I'm just gonna look around and be like, well, might not have a chance to use Nostradamus Bell quite yet after all.
thank God. When they mention about the ruins, Celeste is gonna say, "So we're heading out of the city, correct?"
Sounds about right.
Give me time, and I can have a lightning rail tickets to get you guys near enough. But you'd have to go to the rest of the town on foot to make base.
When you say that, Celeste is like, "Do you think I'd have time to run a very quick personal errand? Just real quick before we leave?"
Just be you'd be leaving first thing tomorrow, so just make get done today.
I am going to very quickly DM you something, Bren.
Yep.
1 second. Down. There we go.
So, okay. Ellen looks at the rest of you, just go, anyone else got any pressing matters?
I'll just look around and be like, actually, I need to check something real quick. Yeah, I'll just look around and be like, do you know any clothing shops nearby? Nostradamus Bell wouldn't be wearing these raggedy cloths.
Yeah, I can point you towards one, though, for heaven's sakes, please don't cause any trouble, because I'm a well-to-do area of Sharn, and I don't want you besmirching our name.
Please, I won't besmirch your name. Besides, I don't even have the documents for Nostradamus Bell yet. I need to get a kit for that first.
Right. Anyone else?
I mean, it couldn't hurt to go pick up some updated equipment. See what I can find.
Yep, be sure to do that.
So, yeah, I'm gonna be looking for noble clothes and a forgery kit.
Just while once I'm doing my errand, which shall not be named, I also want to see if I can find some healing potions of any description.
I'm not sure if you have the gold for healing potions.
How much are healing potions?
A lot.
Usually? Oh. Damn. Any form of healing I can find?
Hold on. I want to see exactly what the math on this would require.
Ben over here thinking he can afford healing potions. That's funny.
Or just anything healing that is not the cure wounds that two of our characters have.
I mean, that's something.
I mean,
That's more than our first party had. Our
That's
first
true.
party had
Cool.
the paladins lay
so
on
hey,
hands, and that's
Good
it.
news. Good news. You can in Sharn you can get healing potion, minor healing potions for 20 gold each.
Okay, I can get one, which is fine. I'm going to keep one healing potion on me.
Also, write that down in your notes so you can keep me to it, because
Yep.
that is now the set price for Sharn.
20 gold.
Yep.
I
That is the
could
baseline
buy
price.
6, but instead I'm buying noble cloves and a forgery kit.
I'm gonna go see what all I can find that be within my price range.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, so if I find those noble cloves and forgery kit, How much will those run me?
Hell, you're gonna make me take a player's guide right now.
Yeah, apparently.
Let's see.
Thank God I don't have to go far in a shot that's one of the only books in it.
So, fine cloves is what it specifically is. It actually says the costs in D&D Beyond. Wow.
Cool.
Nice.
So fine cloves are 15 gold.
Yeah, that sounds right. And you were looking at forgery kits.
Yeah, and I already have a pair, but that pair of fine cloves is for another identity I have.
Also 15 gold.
Cool. So I'm down 30 gold.
Okay. So, last check if anyone else has any plans before I cut to what Ben DM'd me about.
No, I wouldn't be doing anything in particular.
I'll be basically sat at my desk just doing work,
Tinkering.
and
You
stuff.
can go through what Ben
Meanwhile-
wanted to do because I need to
I
look
guess
through some
while
stuff.
I'm out, I'll also buy 2 healing potions. That'll leave me with 50 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Just a
So-
quick baseline so I know what it's safe to look at. What all would I be able to afford with 135 gold? I doubt
135
it's
gold?
much. I doubt very much.
What specifically were you thinking of?
Either like something that's slightly better for armor or weapon.
What are you wearing for armor right now?
Bog standard leather and bog standard rapier for weapon.
Well, you'd definitely at least be able to upgrade the studded. But you wouldn't be able to find anything magic for that.
Right.
So,
I didn't figure.
So while I'm tinkering this, it's probably standing somewhere.
mhm.
I probably don't know exactly where, but he's probably standing somewhere. Might even be facing a. But
So yeah, you can get a set of studded leather for 45 gold.
And once I've found all my things, I'm just
Studded
gonna
leather is
go
not
to...
one of the ones that takes away, like,
No, studded
No.
leather
provides
doesn't.
disadvantage, right?
It's just the best non-magic armor you could have right now, basically.
Yeah, I'll probably go ahead and upgrade
And-
to studded then.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll just head to wherever I go to sleep and start working with my forgery kit to try to make Nostradamus' spell official.
Neat. I'm gonna
Well,
have you make that roll.
Official.
I'm gonna have you make that roll later then. It's fine.
Yeah.
No, because I don't feel like digging out Xanathars to find out. So yeah, Ben, with your message when you send it, would you have specifically told her where to meet you?
Yeah, I would have just I probably, if you'd allow, I would have like told her to come meet me while I was doing some shopping and told her all the details that I have at the moment about what we're doing.
Yeah, alright. So yeah, while you're in the shop getting your potions, the door bangs open and you hear the bell damn near come off the door as Ashlyn storms in just like, you're not joking, right?
so since she's come in like that, Ignis is going to sort of.
Oh yeah, no,
walk
like no,
towards
this
her.
is
This is
no,
wild.
no, this is just
Yeah.
these two.
She's out
Yeah,
shopping.
This is while I'm out
Alright,
shopping, so I'm by myself right now. I when she comes barging in, and she's like, "You're not joking, right?" I'm just like, "Hello, Ashlyn. Subtle as always."
Cut the crap, Celeste. Not in the mood for it. You're not joking, right?
No, I am not. We've got a very high-profile client, and I'm just gonna tell him, I'm gonna say Silica Windkern, House Kenneth, looking for a very valuable lost gem, and it just so happens to have gone missing just outside of Shan. And what happens to be just outside of Shan but a large group of ruins? Now I have no confirmation whether they're orcish or not, but it's a very real possibility.
I'm just over here thinking, wow, Ben, they hired us to keep themselves out of the limelight, and here you are talking to a member of the press.
Yep.
Celeste only cares that she is out of limelight.
Just like, oh, all right.
I hope you know I'm telling you this because it's a personal project. If I start reading this in the papers, it'll be the last time I ever get in contact with the nation.
You're asking me to not print the story, aren't you?
I'm not necessarily asking you not to print the story. I'm just asking that you perhaps hold fire until we have all of the correct details. I know how quick you are to jump to conclusions.
Okay. I think I can behave myself for now.
At the end of the day, as long as we get paid and this job gets done, I don't care what happens to the noble shits afterwards.
Understood. When are you guys leaving?
Tomorrow morning, we'll be heading
Cool.
out first thing.
Right, I'll go ahead and get my ticket for the rail then.
Be there sharp. We won't be waiting around.
I'll just have to tell the husband to going on a quick trip. Shouldn't be long.
Oh, we're gonna get her killed.
I'm gonna look
Does
at
she
her
have
and say,
kids?
I'm gonna
Good
look at her
thing.
before she
Mama might
runs
not be coming home.
before she runs off. I'm gonna like put my hand on her shoulder and turn her around, and I'm gonna say, I'm telling you now, this is going to be most likely very dangerous, and I know how you feel about your job as a journalist, but at the end of the day, you have a husband. I'm not carrying you back in a bag or in ashes.
She just looks at you and just kind of goes, reaches into her like coin purse, tosses a handful of gold coins at the shopkeeper. He's like, "What are these for?" Let's replace these. And you watch as some invisible force just shatters bottles right beside your head.
Like, Celeste doesn't even flinch, and she just kind of looks and goes, my point still stands. I know that you've got abilities of your own, but I'm letting you know now that I won't be held responsible for the pain that you could be caused.
I know what I'm getting in for. I didn't spend 3 years in an orc tribe to back down from something this insignificant.
I'm just, as I walk out, I'm gonna like grab her cheeks, like her, and just say, good, because it'd be such a shame to waste a pretty face. And then I'll just kind of give her a little tap on the face and walk out.
Yeah, you feel as though a hand like physically stops you from leaving.
Oh.
You turn to look at her. She's not actually touching you.
I'll just say, oh, was it something I said?
No, just keep in mind, I've got no qualms about breaking your pretty face, should it come to it.
And it's why we get along so well, Ashley. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
Likewise, and you feel whatever was holding you back release you.
I then walk out. On the inside, a little bit more nervous than I was willing to admit.
And I'm just over here thinking, oh, it doesn't matter what happens to either of their faces, because I can duplicate it.
Yep, so after you guys do all your shopping and start doing, we will cut to the next morning with you at the lightning rail station. Ellum is there, seeing you all off. The rest of you are kind of shocked that Ashlyn is coming along with you.
I've probably not noticed. I'm still like in the books, just stood next to.
When I see Ashlyn, I
Ignis.
just sort of look over at Celeste.
I'm gonna turn to the group and say, journalists, what can you do? They have the notices in every business these days.
I'm guessing.
I'll
next
just
morning
I'll
means
just
long rest.
vocally, I'll just say out loud. Doesn't make any sense.
I'm gonna turn to Iskander and go, he's not about to start turning us to ashes, is he?
What?
big guy. We don't have
You're-
to worry about his fists in our faces anytime soon.
Oh no, he's harmless.
he like Celeste is gonna look and then look back at Iskandar and go, well, actually, I kind of hope he's not going to be harmless for what we're going into, but you do you.
Ellum hands you all basically your rail tickets.
Cool.
Well, it's a new line, and it's not one that sees a lot of traffic as of quite yet. So, rail should have you there within the hour, which will certainly be good news for getting you started on this immediately.
Yeah.
I'm imagining the way he gives mine is he just puts it on top of the book that I'm
Yeah,
reading.
kind of. No, he basically just slots it into your book. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm guessing the next morning equates to long rest, though.
Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
Right?
Yeah, no, you've all gotten your long rests.
Okay. Barely matters for me, but I'll take it.
Mhm.
Matters a lot for me.
Yeah, yeah.
The
I get one spell slot back.
All I get back is one use of my tether ability. It's one of 5 uses.
How long does that last?
An hour, or let me see the exact specifics. It lasts an hour until I create a new tether, until the target that I've tethered is reduced to 0 hit points, Chris, or until the target ends its turn over 100 feet from me.
Oh, okay.
oh
That's something to be careful of. But yeah.
yeah.
But yes. So, I was to do just like, well, I know that hopefully where you lot are headed, you'll remember that you're representing me. So I don't want you causing any trouble that's unnecessary. Kind of looks directly at Celeste as he's saying it.
Celeste kind of looks and goes, oh, you're going to look at me when we've got the Iron Giant, the shape-shifting arsehole, and the Birdman with us.
Shape-shifting asshole.
I've never had to pull them piss-sticking drunk out of a pub before.
We
In
all
res-
have
in-
our-
I turn to him and say, I don't really drink.
and also in response to that, it's just all you hear in the background is.
Celeste kind of looks and goes, well, we all have our vices, clearly.
Hide stay set further down and back.
Either way, I'm just gonna ask you, please, gods above, behave yourself.
Oh, if anybody dies, we'll get them a pretty tombstone with our new cash. We'll be fine.
Ellen looks just like Ashley just goes, I know I can't tell you what to do, but Rugorg has asked that you also behave yourself. To which Ashley just goes, he knows who he hired.
What he said yesterday, he likes when she does that kind of stuff. Which reminds me, before we go, he wanted to talk to you about an interview.
Of
Told him
course
I'd
he
see what I can do. It's up to you if you want to do it.
Of course he did. Well, the fact that I'm effectively borrowing one of his employees might as well do the interview to keep him sated.
I'm gonna turn to him and say, if I see my name in the paper, I'll cut every single one of your tentacles.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever you all look at me again, you'll just see that I've taken on the visage of Nostradamus Bell.
I turn to boss and say that, and then I turn around and see Kaz and go, oh, we're all fucked, aren't we?
I'll just say, listen, for this Well, for this persona to be believable, I need to give him character.
You also need to have the gold to back up the noble status.
I have a fancy ring.
Yeah, I think you even see Alan just kind of go.
I can't wait for me to bust his disguise just by calling him his actual name.
So,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna like turn to Cleek and go, well, you signed up for this. You've signed your own death warrant, not mine. And get onto the train.
Yeah, Ellen just kind of waves you all off, and once everyone's on the lightning ray,
I'm most
It's
likely the
off.
last one on because I will have to be like prodded to get on.
Yeah, you're like trying to push him on, like, come on.
Like
Mhm.
he's sort of ducking under the door.
So, out of character for a moment.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew what I wanted to do with this, but I also knew I wasn't going to be prepared for the first couple sessions
Yeah.
without doing some extensive writing. So, you know, Wizards tells you how to incorporate this shit.
Oh my
So
god.
I'm just going to repurpose one of the adventures in here
Sure.
for it.
Go for it.
I'm down with that.
So, but honestly, that's where we're just going to call it for today. I didn't
Okay.
have a terrible lot prepared.
That's fine. That's
Okay.
fine. Honestly, it was great for us to kind of get a feel of like everyone's character.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I said it was Eberron, but oops, it's Saltmarsh.
Eh.
And
Oh,
trying to figure out where Nostradamus Bell is from.
Oh god.
I like to think on this train there's like Ignis is just like standing there, like taking up too much space, and there's people trying to like shuffle around him. And he's just
Yeah, and
there.
Iskandar's just not paying any attention to him, and he's just sort of stood, like as wide as he can be as well. Just like
But yeah, no, good session.
Yeah.
I think I like Celeste and Cass's interactions.
It's great.
Well, with
That's
each other
really good.
especially, but with everyone is like pretty top tier.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
I
real
need
good.
to work on fleshing out a better personality for Salazar.
I knew exactly what I was doing with friggin'.
same. Same.
great. I'm loving Cleek.
It was like.
Iskandar's just Iskandar's like super confused 90% of the time, doesn't know what's going on, and then Ignis just in the way,
Yeah.
and also freaking everyone out by saying random things, mainly to do with dust or ash.
I can't wait. I can already tell that Cleek's straightforward mind is just gonna clash so much with Celeste.
Yep. Yeah, and the moment I realized like how much potential like espionage type stuff we're gonna have to do, I'm like, oh god, I am not gonna be so good at that.
Yeah.
Like the
No,
only thing
like-
I really have, even though I'm a charisma-based character, the only stat that I have a proficiency in, on top of obviously being a charisma-based character, is persuasion. So the idea is that I literally just go up and ask people things, and they tell me the answer. I'm just very direct.
Not charismatic as in charming. Charismatic as in direct and to the point.
To the point,
Yeah,
yeah. That's
The thing I find funny as well is that we have 3 charisma casters in the group, and I'm the one with the highest charisma. Which means I also have the highest persuasion and deception by default, because
yeah.
I also have I've statted those. And
Funnily enough, Celeste isn't great with charisma.
yeah, who could
Can't
have
imagine
guessed?
why.
She
Right?
comes across as a bit coarse for some reason.
I
Yeah.
wonder why.
Oh dear me. But yeah, like I say, I'm loving this so far. I think this is gonna be great.
Oh, this
It
is
is.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have enjoyed the stream, give us a follow. all these various people that do various things. You should go follow them too.
Yep. Yep. Go
Very
ahead.
descriptive.
Yep. Go ahead. Go ahead and give me a follow because I'm likely gonna start streaming next week.
Yep.
Yeah. So you've got Is It Bren and Jedi Zach and Ben McCleary.
Yeah.
They all do
We'll be
streams.
getting back on the wagon eventually, I promise.
At some point.
I actually do have a stream planned for this week. One.
Yeah.
And fun enough, it's very similar to the stream that I potentially.
Yeah, I know. Very similar.
My plans for the week are basically to have a bad time on Wednesday and then to to do Zelda on Saturday and D&D the following Sunday. I may do something else between now and in between all of that, but honestly, it depends what turns up and what I feel like doing. Like, there's nothing else planned. So, what you should do is join the Discord, and then you'll kind of be alerted whenever I do decide to do random shit. You can click the link that Zach just posted in chat, and that will allow you to access the Discord. With that all said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next stream. See you later.